talk about France and how good it's going to be in Civ 6.
Catherine de' Medici leads the French Civ in Sid Meier's Civilization VI. She was the most powerful European queen of the 16th century. She was skilled in statecraft, diplomacy, and especially espionage. Her efforts to secure the crown for her family laid the groundwork for a strong central French state. France's special ability, Grand Tour, gives them a bonus when constructing mid-game wonders and extra tourism from all the wonders they construct. The Garde Impériale are the French unique unit. They get a bonus for fighting on the starting capital's home continent and great general points from kills. France also gets the Chateau as a unique tile improvement. It must be built adjacent to a river and provides culture with special bonuses for being near wonders. But what Catherine specializes in is espionage. By using her network of ladies-in-waiting, Catherine's flying squadron, she gets extra diplomatic information from every civ she meets. Once you research castles, she'll receive an extra spy. France is a good choice for the culture-focused player. Egypt and China might focus on building early game wonders, but in mid-game, France can easily catch up in the wonder race. Once their unique abilities and improvements are in play, they can quickly race up the civics tree and establish a strong industrial-era army, or go for a cultural victory.
We're going to look into Civ 6's new civilization, France. I was really excited about this one, so let's go ahead and dive right in.
Catherine de' Medici leads the French Civ in Sid Meier's Civilization VI. She was the most powerful European queen of the 16th century. She was skilled in statecraft, diplomacy, and especially espionage. Her efforts to secure the crown for her family laid the groundwork for a strong central French state. France's special ability, Grand Tour, gives them a bonus when constructing mid-game wonders and extra tourism from all the wonders they construct. The Garde Impériale are the French unique unit. They get a bonus for fighting on the starting capital's home continent and great general points from kills. France also gets the Chateau as a unique tile improvement. It must be built adjacent to a river and provides culture with special bonuses for being near wonders. But what Catherine specializes in is espionage. By using her network of ladies-in-waiting, Catherine's flying squadron, she gets extra diplomatic information from every civ she meets. Once you research castles, she'll receive an extra spy. France is a good choice for the culture-focused player. Egypt and China might focus on building early game wonders, but in mid-game, France can easily catch up in the wonder race. Once their unique abilities and improvements are in play, they can quickly race up the civics tree and establish a strong industrial-era army, or go for a cultural victory. Regardless of whether you go for war or peace, France will stay well informed about what's going on in the world, thanks to their excellent espionage. Are you ready to show the world the glory of La Belle France?
Alright, so, couple things to note with this new leader. First of all, a lot of people are saying, I mean, some people are saying as jokes, some people are more serious, that she's an Italian individual, and yeah, I think her whole backstory is like her father's Italian, and she married to a king of France. Essentially, Catherine is somebody who, I think she ruled for a while. I think when her husband passed away or something, and she kind of took care of ruled for her sons. So she was quite ruthless. So I like to think of her as like the type of Cersei Lannister of sorts. It's a little tidbit there for you, but anyways, a couple things about the Civ. So it seems to be able to focus on wonders in the mid game, and it has soldiers for the mid game, like Renaissance, or more industrial, I guess, type soldiers. And then it also has spying, which tends to come around the Renaissance, as well as the chateaus, which definitely cannot come before the medieval ages. At the earliest, perhaps even I'd say Renaissance would be more likely. So, because of all these reasons, she is going to be a mid-game civ, which means it's going to be most likely rather weak. the thing about Firaxis is they don't tend to balance for like based on how early like something comes in the game. They don't seem to realize. I mean, they don't seem to want to balance around that. They want it to be like, if you balance around that, then the weak players will think. I mean, the lower level players will think that, hey, all these early game civilizations are crap. But as we all know, the game snowballs, or as some of us know, the game snowballs early game very often. So early games bonuses tend to be more important, and she's very mid game and doesn't have too much till then. So I think they're going to be kind of a weak civilization, unless her bonuses are massive. So I think they'll be kind of a weak civilization. If you do get to that point, it'll be great. And in most games against regular opponents, it'll probably be fine. But against high-level opponents, I think that it'll be a fairly weak civ just because of how long things take to kick in. Now, again, in Civ 6, maybe the game goes by faster. Maybe it's easier to get to the later ages. Maybe all this stuff is true. In which case they would be stronger than we might think. But right now, all I have to go by is Civ 5 standards. So I'd say a fairly weak nation in comparison to some of these early ones that have been coming out, especially. Alright, guys, have a great one. See you later. Bye. BT's Irish, and I'm back. Here I'm going to be reviewing China. So this is a civ I'm really excited about, and you're about to find out why if you haven't watched their videos yet.
Qin Shi Huang leads the Chinese Civ in Sid Meier's Civilization VI. Qin Shi Huang united the warring states of China and became the first emperor of the Qin dynasty. His economic and political reforms brought standardization and central rule to China, and he built the famous Terracotta Army. China's special civ ability is called Dynastic Cycles. They get a larger boost from Eurekas and Inspirations compared to other civs. Qin is a ruler who gets things done. His builders receive an additional use, and he can use builders to boost construction on ancient and classical wonders. The Chinese unique unit is the Crouching Tiger Cannon. This high-power, short-range unit doesn't require specific resources to produce. The Great Wall has returned in Civilization VI, but now it is a unique tile improvement for the Chinese. At the start of the game, it'll provide defense and gold, and as you advance through time, it'll give you bonus culture and tourism. Keep in mind that because it's a tile improvement, you'll have to keep dedicating builders to the task of expanding it, just like in history. Like Egypt, China is a wonder-focused civ in the early game, but unlike Egypt, China can be much more defensive and insular. The Great Wall will be a formidable barrier to protect you in the early game. How will you rule the Middle Kingdom in Sid Meier's Civilization VI?
Alright, so let's look a little bit at this civ and why I'm so excited for it. So first, let's start with the Great Wall. So one thing that's awesome is that China will have this Great Wall that they can build piece by piece. I'm a little bit sad that, not every civ can have this, but it does make China very unique, which is awesome. I think that the more Firaxis moves towards this idea of every nation needs to play kind of differently, or can be played differently, I think it'll be for the better, honestly. It'll greatly increase replayability of the game. So I like this little mini game of building the wall and your borders. Keep in mind that it has to be built on borders. But anyways, I think that one of the great things is that they'll have this wall, and they'll be able to be getting gold from it too. So it's a defensive building, but it also helps them, get ahead of things. So they have an incentive for building it besides just, I don't want to die. Now usually, I like things that are one dimension and are very clear in their purpose, but I think that in this scenario, people would potentially not spend builders building this unless, builders are very important, right, in Civ 6. So you don't want to be spending them for random stuff. Now, if we were on the worker system, we'd be able to maybe build a Great Wall with one worker over time and it wouldn't be a big deal. But since they have to spend workers, they have to kind of be rewarded for building the wall besides just not dying, right? So, anyways, I think that's why they went with this. But the point is with China is they have a lot of early game bonuses. They have a wall that gives them gold, and so it gives them gold and it gives them defenses. Then they have the, where is it? They have these cannons, which are also early game. They look almost like late medieval things. I mean, they're weaponry, because I mean they're basically here. You can see they're basically fighting like some fairly early game units. Even archers were classical age. On top of that, they're able to build early wonders with their worker bonus like quite easily, and rushing it. And they're able to get the Eureka bonuses. So if you put all these together, this is just a massive advantage, and I think that they're going to be a very powerful civilization. Like, you can imagine strategies coming out which are like, hey, you know, use your 4 charges to build as another player would build, using, you know, the first 3 charges, and then use 1 extra charge on your wonders. You could have like a 1 extra charge strategy as China to like beat everybody to wonders in the majority of cases and still build your empire. I could see that like being a straight up strategy that you do. So I think that China is going to be quite powerful, and unless these early game wonders are a little bit on the weaker side compared to later game wonders, I think that they're going to be quite a powerful nation. And I mean, you think about them, they build a wall around their base, and next thing you know, they have a bunch of money. They're gonna wreck you. So they're gonna be quite a powerful nation, and you know, watching out for them will be important. I think if you can take them out extremely early, or you can just, I don't know. I feel like taking them out early is really the best plan. Apart from maybe expanding a lot while they're building everything, maybe you can do that. You know, get a big empire. But anyways, played at their best. You know, the best players will be able to utilize these Eureka bonuses, I think, quite often, and maximize how much you get out of this. I think that'll be the difference between a regular Chinese player and a good Chinese player, is that they will utilize these Eureka bonuses, and they will be getting, you know, whatever double the rate is, and they'll be getting really far ahead. So I'd say that in terms of how good they can be, they go from good to fantastic, and I think they'll be quite a powerful Civ. So as long as, if you're the player playing China, all you got to worry about is, I'm not gonna die early game. I need to watch out for that, because people are gonna want to take me out. And once I get to my like classical age, I will be golden. I will be set. I will have my wall. I have some wonders. I'll have a lot of things built up. I'll be great. So yeah, I think this is quite a strong Civ, if not one of the strongest Civs that have been released so far. Alright guys, I'll see you later when I talk about the Aztecs. Bye. It's Irish, and we're going to be looking at the Aztecs today. They're, as usual, an early game Civ. So let's just dive right in and check them out, see what they've got to offer.
Montezuma leads the Aztecs in Sid Meier's Civilization VI. He built the Aztec capital into one of the greatest cities in the world. Montezuma ordered the construction of aqueducts and temple complexes, and kept the Aztecs growing through conquest. Montezuma's special ability is called Gifts for the Tlatoani. It makes amenities particularly valuable for this Civ. Not only do luxuries give amenities to extra cities, but each different luxury improved in Aztec territory gives their military more fighting power. War and amenities are linked as well in the Tlachtli. This unique building in the entertainment complex gives amenities, faith, and great general points. The Aztec unique unit is the Eagle Warrior. This powerful version of the basic warrior unit can turn defeated enemies into builder units. This ability plays well into the Aztecs' unique ability to use their builders to speed the construction of districts. The Aztecs are a fantastic Civ for conquest. Early in the game, the Eagle Warrior will give them a strong combat edge. Each enemy defeated will be an opportunity to speed construction of early districts, bringing your cities online quickly. As you progress through the mid and late game, the Aztecs can establish extensive empires by grabbing new luxuries on the map, and using their amenity bonuses to offset their expansion through military conquest. How will you lead the Aztecs in Sid Meier's Civilization VI?
Alright, so I'd say that one of the things about the Aztecs, now remember this civilization is actually a DLC only Civ, so it's gonna be if you've got like the the expensive like $80 pack or whatever. I think no, actually if you pre-order, you get it right away, and I think if you don't, then you get it within 90 days. So keep in mind that this is not exactly a base Civ until 90 days into the game. So that's something to keep in mind as you buy Civ 5. If you're really looking forward to getting these guys, you have to pre-order. Obviously, I don't condone pre-orders, even for Civ. I'm not gonna get into that, but just letting you guys know in case you're excited about this Civ like I am to a certain degree. So anyways, one thing that I'm actually really excited about with these guys is that they get to take people out and get workers. But I think it's a little scary. I think these guys are going to be extremely strong. I mean, you just keep killing whoever's around and getting workers out of it. That's that's pretty impressive. That's literally what got people to deity and immortal level strategies, in Civ 5, was worker stealing essentially. Well, in this case, obviously you have to fight somebody. You can't just step on him and take him. But it's a strategy that's proven very lucrative, I guess you could say, in the past. Very useful, very powerful, and it's going to make them very powerful as well. So they want to be fighting, they want to be leveling up, and all this other stuff. So yeah, they're going to be quite strong, and grabbing these luxuries with the workers that you get, you can see the synergy there. You kill these guys, you get workers out of them, and then you put them here, right? So I think that the Aztecs will be extremely fun to play for me, because I love fighting early game. Maybe it's because Civ 5 is not compelling enough in terms of just building things, but for me, I get bored just sitting there building things. I need to be fighting. I play with Raging Barbarians on, like, I want to be fighting. I think that's the fun, some of the fun in the game. So I'm really looking forward to playing this civilization, actually. Probably the most, because you can establish your dominance early on, and I think that's something that I enjoy. So yeah, they'll be quite a powerful Civ. It can definitely rival China, and this is the kind of Civ that if you're gonna beat out China, this is the civilization to do it with. If you're gonna early rush them, I mean, this is the Civ to do it with. They've got very strong early game power. They can probably hit before China has a chance to build a wall, and as they're building up. So yeah, I think that it'll be great, and this will be a nice little bonus as time goes on. But I think that what you do want to be careful with this kind of add-on is that it takes time and it takes away from you, building your armies. So consider it as a thing you can do, but don't feel that you have to build this, because it's helpful, but just like barracks are in Civ, it's nice, but you could have just built two more soldiers and won the fight that you were about to go for. So build it eventually, but don't feel like you have to build it. But yeah, and then they can use these workers to speed up the building of districts. So I think they'll be a great super real early game Civ. And if they don't snowball early game, and they don't get to get a whole bunch of workers out of it, then I think they'll kind of fall off and not be as dangerous. But in the hands of the the right player, I can see them crushing faces, and at least the amenities will let them keep fighting later in the game, so they won't be completely useless later. They'll have extra fighting power, so you can still fight, but you just need to make sure you leave yourself in a decent position to have enough money and technology to fight later on, if you're playing these guys. Anyways, that's about it for the Civ 6 review. The Civ 6 Aztec review. I'd say strong to very strong Civ because of all these early game bonuses. That's what I'd leave it at. Have a good one, guys. Until the next video. Bye.